Hello, good morning, and welcome to forexforsteadyprofit.com. I use the Commitment of Traders report, which comes out every week on a Friday, and I need to give me an idea of market direction. I analyze the ratios of longs to shorts for the commercials and non-commercials, and I also look at the divergence on the pairs, and it gives me an idea of market direction. We'll just go and have a quick look at the charts. So here we have the Commitment of Traders information in its raw form. You get the non-commercial positions and the commercial positions, long and short, and then you get the change in open interest. And you also get that broken down underneath for longs and shorts for both the commercials and the non-commercials. And we can see this broken down into a graph over a period of time, which also gives us comparatives, which are also very useful to look back on the history. And so we'll go and do that right now. And here we have a graph of the positions over 52 weeks, that's a year, for the commitment of traders of the commercials and non-commercials. And this is for the Australian dollar. This chart is produced by cotbase.com. And you can see here where we got to a low position with the commercials, and we're completely opposite to the speculators, and they've got a long position, so we're short. You can see we had a big drop off in the price of the Australian dollar. Conversely, when we were at a high and very bullish for the commercials, and we were fairly bearish for the non-commercials, that we actually had a hike in the rise of the price of the Australian dollar. This is a very useful tool to be using, and we can show you other ways that we use it and other things that we do with it. So here we have the Australian dollar, US dollar, and we've got the RSI. Now if we put a trend line on the RSI and we wait for it to go above the 69.1 and come back down and cut through it, this gives us a sell signal. Now, this obviously would have been a very good sell signal here. We had a sell signal here indicating this big long fall that we've had. And quite recently, we've had a rise in the price of the Australian dollar, which is just going through the 50 here. And I'm expecting it to turn back down and cut through the trend line, which will give us another sell signal because we have an extreme position of short the commercials and long the non-commercials on the Commitment of Traders report, and this should be quite a long sustained downward trend, which is always very profitable. Last bit of information, this is Ludwig's divergence calculator, and it works really well, and this helps us with the crosses. These are the currencies against the US dollar, and here we have the crosses calculated, and it gives us a divergence value between the commercials and the non-commercials, and it shows some of the pairs that are of more interest than others. A very useful tool, only available on the Members Centre, and the pairs that are of most interest we do feature on the video on the Members Centre every day, so you get a daily video on those. Hello, good morning and welcome. It's the 21st of November and it's just coming up to 6:30. We'll start as ever with the Australian dollar, US dollar. We've got a commercial short ratio of 2.68 to 1. We've come down now onto a little bit of support the last 3 days. We had the Reserve Bank of Australia decision to hold rates last night. We haven't really seen a big movement in the Australian dollar, and we are just below the 30.9. We're about 30.7 at the moment. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. I was expecting a bit of a pullback, but nothing's actually happening at the moment. It's just sort of hanging about here on support. Pound US dollar, We've had now, I think it's what, 6 green candles. We have a commercials short ratio of 1.09 to 1, and we also have a speculators a short 1.01 to 1. So we're above the 50 on the RSI. So I'm expecting this to come down with both the commercials and the speculators short this pair. So we'll see how we go, but it's surprising me a little bit at the moment. US dollar, Canadian dollar. We've got a commercial short ratio of 2.65 to 1 for the Canadian dollar. So that's long for the pair. We've had a couple of green candles, and I'm expecting this to get a lot more strength. We're actually above the 50 on the RSI today at 52. So I'm looking for this to go long. I think it should go up to at least recent highs, which is about 137, something like that. So we'll see where it goes from there. Euro dollar. We've got a commercial short ratio of 1.59 to 1. The recent spike in the value of the euro, just up above 118.50, I saw as a selling opportunity. I've got about 4 fairly large trades in here. They're all basically in profit, and as it goes down, I'm going to be adding to those and putting stops in. So we're just above the 50 on the RSI. We're at nearly at 52. I'm expecting this to fade during the day, so we'll see where that goes. Commercials ratio. This is the USD Japanese yen. We've got a fairly large long ratio for the Japanese yen of 4.58 to 1. We've seen a nice fall off in the price. We're coming down now onto a little bit of support. Hopefully over the next couple of days we'll see that break. We're well below the 50 on the RSI, and we'll see where we're going on that. US dollar Swiss franc. You've got a commercials long ratio of 7.75 to 1. So I think you get a better risk reward on these currencies if you pair the ones that are long with the ones that are short. So maybe going the Australian dollar Swiss franc gives you a better risk reward. These are the crosses I do in the members centre. So maybe if you wanted to have a look sometime. We got we're just above the 50 on the RSI at about 52.70. I am expecting great things of this. I'm expecting this to come down. As I say, I think it'll do better against the crosses, but we'll see how that goes on at the end of the week. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This is finding support about where it is. The commercials are long, 1.82. So I am sort of expecting a bit of a bounce here. We'll see how that goes. We are actually just below the 30.9 at about 30.2 at the moment. Not my favourite trade, but we'll see where that goes. Silver. The commitment of traders are extremely bearish for this metal. I'm expecting to move down. We've had about 2 months sideways movement on this. It is a cheap swap, so it's not too bad to hold it. We are actually below the 50 on the RSI, and hopefully this will move further down today. So we'll see where that goes. And I'd like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. Cheers, bye.